The Mafia would be a good thing, dear. The girl was just standing up, but in answer to his question, I would far prefer the Mafia to be running this country than the gang that's in there right now. The White House is run like Murder Incorporated, and this Cassius cartel has been working for literally 200 plus years, since the formation of the order and sect of the Illuminati. They control it all. Our commerce, our currency. This is a Cassius cartel. It's an evilarchy, and they are Luciferian in nature. If Christianity can exist for 2,000 years, certainly an evilarchy, a group dedicated to bringing about a Luciferian oligarchy, could exist in the year 2002. In fact, it does. Go ahead.
It's live? Okay, good. I retired, as you all know, in '79, came out, worked the McDonald case. The light bulb went on when I realized evidence lost, stolen, destroyed, altered, etc., etc. Obtained a confession from Alina Stokely, the girl in the floppy hat, who said that he didn't commit the crimes. Dr. McDonald did not commit the crimes. They were committed by my satanic cult group. I went public with the information. I obtained the confession on October 25, 1980. A number of TV shows, radio talk shows, people came out of the woodwork from all parts of the country, telling me about the satanic cult movement in this country, United States. People on the East Coast, West Coast, South, and so on and so forth. Same basic story. And they not only told me about the cults, but they told me about the inner workings of the cults. Not a lot of detail, but enough that I could piece it together. And I'm saying, how could somebody from Maine know and furnish the same information as somebody from Southern California? As a result of that, of course, then I obtained a copy later on of Pawns in the Game, and this book, Pawns in the Game, which I sold out of on this conference, really explained what has happened in the last 240 or 50 years. And that is this, that in 1773, Adam Weishaupt, a Bavarian, former priest, was commissioned to obtain or come up with the 25 with goals to take over the world. And on May the 1st, 1776, he announced the 25 goals. The goals are unbelievable if you look at them one by one and then analyze what's happened today. Corrupt the youth through sex and drugs, control the press, create an incident, and then come in and act as the saviors, like the Reichstag, and we saw this in Oklahoma City. So then, not only did I, of course, research the Illuminati and come up with the answer there, but these people kept calling me from around the country. They've been calling me now for 22 years. And based on the information that's been furnished to me, this evil element has infiltrated virtually every level of society. Okay, it's in the government. They've gone out of their way, of course, to infiltrate in city, county, state, and the federal government. It's in the banking system. It's in the courts. It's in the prosecutors, the attorneys, doctors. It's mind-boggling. It's unbelievable. I have been asked how many. By the way, this dovetails, the satanic cult movement dovetails into, as part of the Illuminati, dovetails into drugs, prostitution, homosexuality, the whole 9 yards. And I've been asked on a number of occasions, how many are there in the United States, just say walking the streets? And I say that there's close to 4 million, if not 4 million, practicing Satanists in America today. That's 1.5% of the population. I reached these figures through 3 different means. Number one, a confidential source in the South Bay area, Los Angeles, population 200,000, says there's about 3,000 members in that area. That's where the Manhattan Beach McMartin case took place. Lincoln, Nebraska, 200,000 population. Another source told me about 3,000 members there. Iowa City, Iowa, another source told me about 1,500, and Iowa City's a population of 100,000. So if you project those figures, that's what I see as the strength and the number of individuals who are involved in this movement at basically at the street level, and also in controlling positions in various industries. So it is a serious problem. What we're going to do about it, I don't know. The best we can do is just expose it and try to wake up America. It dovetails into the banking system, as Eustace will tell you, I'm sure. And it's even in the military. As Bo mentioned to me, I think just yesterday, the military declared Satanism a legitimate religion, and they can practice. So what year was that, Bo?
It was 1976. It was the year I changed on my dog tag my religion to Special Forces. And the Inspector General was very chagrined because he came and said, Bo, you're the commander of Special Forces. We cannot gig you. We don't want to. You've got to change your dog tag. And I said, look, if you can put Satanism as your religion, as an official Army recognized religion, don't tell me I can't have Special Forces as my religion. And so the troops heard about it, and they all changed their religion to Special Forces too.
I'll try to cut the rest of the answer as short as possible. Do I think that the FBI and the CIA, I'm not talking about the whole group. There's a lot of good people in both agencies. But do I think that they're incompetent? No. Do I think they've been infiltrated? Yes. And in the FBI in particular, I'll tell you what happened here when Reagan was president. They were having difficulty getting agents on the street to advance to the supervisory level. Of course, that's a very important position. And because the fun is on the street, it's not sitting behind a desk all day pushing paper. So they sent a memo out, this is what I've been told by some of my friends, to the street agents, anybody that wants to be promoted, submit your resume and let's go from there. Well, as a result, I think that what they did is the good agents stayed on the streets, and the other agents, the Illuminati members, if you want to call them that, not all of them, of course, advanced to the supervisory level. On one occasion here during the Atlanta, Georgia Olympics, there was a spokesperson on for the FBI on national television in connection with the bombing that took place down there, and I had a call from an adult survivor. Adult survivor is somebody that's born into the movement, the cults, is raised there, gets out, tries to go straight and stay away from it. But I had a call from an adult survivor and said, this person told me, a woman, that she recognized that FBI spokesman as having attended satanic meetings in the past. So I'm saying that, hey, they've had 230 some years to put this together. They're advancing. I know of one adult survivor who was a recruiter and a trainer. She was training other people in San Diego area to recruit survivors. And she was recruiting 26 people at a time, other people, teaching them how to recruit in the satanic movement. Very serious problem. So I'm sorry I couldn't make it any shorter than that.
Hi. Actually, I have a question. If anybody else has questions, please go ahead and go up to the microphone. Just a quick question. I've heard critics say that the term Illuminati is some sort of vague generality for some of these secret groups, and that it's a mask or just a generality. How would you respond to that? And a quick comment. I had a conversation with Jordan about this at the previous conspiracy conference, that the most dangerous secret society is the one that we don't know about. But we keep hearing about this elusive Illuminati. Yes, the symbol is there on the dollar bill. Can anybody respond to that?
Well, let me try something. Today I basically talked about what we know about physical reality. But right now, I think in response to that gentleman's question, the bottom line is who is on top of top. And basically, we're going to what is Illuminati? And unfortunately, there is no headquarters, physical headquarters for the Illuminati office. We don't know. There is, I believe, an invisible force that is above groups like Bilderberg's groups, above groups like Trilateral Commission and so on. Let's say that I believe that there is an invisible force that we don't know nothing about, and they are not. I don't think they are aliens, but I believe that they are some kind of a unseen force that is directing the general movement of the world to certain directions. And the only term I can say is that it's basically back to the religionistic interpretation that there is in this world that coexists an invisible force or dark force, or ultimately, I believe it's Satan. This might antagonize a few people, but that's my personal belief, that it is a conspiracy from the very beginning, with the rebellion in the cosmos against the Creator, and that is the beginning of all conspiracy, leading us up into the final confrontation. Well, that's my interpretation.
Microphone?
You got a micro? Okay. I'm going to add to that. If we went to 58 East 68th Street in New York City at the Council on Foreign Relations, if we went to 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, and the city within the city in London, I believe that you might find out where the watering hole for the big boys lies.
I believe that that the man that's in charge is the Jesuit general, Peter Hans Kolvenbach. Peter Hans Kolvenbach commands his Curia,